All right. See the screen?
Yes, sir.
All right. What do you see here in terms of event trigger? What event trigger are we on right now?
From what I can see here, since the tags are item price, value, discount, discounted, brand name, so
Oh no, what event is this? Let me see a screen. Is it like is it like a page load every page? Is this a button press event? Like when you see the screen.
let me see. Super lemon haze. I think it's somehow a checkout.
Boom. Okay. Yes, it is. It's a purchase.
Mm-hmm.
It was an LB purchase. LB, I don't know why they have it, but this client will have it. Some people will have different namings. And let's say this. So what do you see within this trigger, within here? What information can we get from here?
Let me see.
There's no exact answer, but I'm just seeing what you think you can pick from there.
I'm seeing here the breakdown of the price. So I'm imagining it was in the process of purchasing and making the checkout. So and these are the details that I could see from the breakdown. May parang nawala yung internet ko.
Baka naka dito. Baka nawala na yung internet.
Okay naman.
Baka siya naman.
Oh. Parang bumagal siya. Hello, can you hear me?
Oh yeah. Yep. I can hear you now.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard what I said the last 5 seconds or so.
It died out right when you're like about to tell me. So just out of curiosity, like what do you see? And there's no 100% right answer. I'm just trying to see what do you see within here. Like if I was to use this data layer, what are some things you can pick from and then tell the client like, oh, I can pick somebody's email or something like that. So email's one of them. What else do you think you can see?
Oh, okay. No, everything. I can see email, phone, the name, photo state, and then the item value of whatever she will be purchasing or something, and then the transaction.
Out of curiosity now, have you ever set up purchase events and picked back? And there's no right or wrong answer for this. Like I'm just curious about what you've done in the past.
Like I think it depends on what do we want to fire, because I think if you do Google Tag Manager and you want to kind of trigger something, right? So it has to be specific. But if you want to track something, then it has to be certain action, either a click, or a selection, right? And then you want to fire that, and then that will be trigger. That will serve as a trigger, into tracking a certain action, and then either you want to use that action into triggering into something like running a retargeting ad, or maybe sending out something, right? But that would be for tracking purposes. Whatever you fire for a certain action, that could be a trigger, and then that would come up with a certain action that you want to set.
Okay. Thank you. Now, out of curiosity, have you ever ran Google Ads yourself?
Yes.
what type? Is it like meaning? Is it video, CTR, ROAS?
Mhm. So what the kind of ad that I ran was for the high end luxurious real estate.
That's gonna be hard to do.
That was in Austin, Texas. So we use a geographic data points, and then we use the data points on the research that has proven to be the high end, and then we use that for running a really targeted ad campaign on Google. We use the interest-based approach, the location-based approach. So whenever we do the ad, we want to make sure we already had the profile data points that we want to target, and then we use the data
Mhm.
points into setting up the Google ad, because we don't want to spend a lot of money on targeting something that we don't have a data point yet per profiling. So we use that, and then we set up the Google ad, and then we set it per campaign per result. And then what happened was we use Google Tag Manager to fire certain actions. So once they've landed on the website, and then they start, an example would be they start looking up for a property that's 1 million and up. So that was a trigger for us, that if they're looking for 1 million and up in a property, and then they will start clicking these properties up that's 1 million in value, then we want to run a retargeting ad campaign for them, because that's where the high end that we want to convert into something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. So, I don't know if you've seen our website. Have you seen our website, Joint Commerce?
Not yet.
Okay, so Joint Commerce. The reason why I'm asking all these questions, I gotta ask questions and more details because of this is more a little technical that takes place. And so Joint Commerce is actually a digital advertising company on the behalf of other cannabis companies in the United States.
Okay.
Philippines may be a little different from legal stuff, but we do this on the behalf of them. Okay. So there's two websites that we have. One's the B2B, business to business, and then we run campaigns for them. And then there's the B2C, which is app.jointcommerce.com, where we show people the dispensaries, and they get to purchase on the website if they have it, right? If they're interested. So this one we're looking at more for the B2B end. B2B is the clients are pretty much have no idea what Google Tag Manager is. And so what we try to do is to set up tags for them. There is a linking between our B2C and B2B based off the advertiser, but what they really need help with is how to deal with pixel setup.
Okay.
How do you set up pixels, and which pixel, how to set up, how to get to it, because sometimes they don't even know that.
Yeah.
How to set up the menus. So there's different menus that's happening at different places. So there's like a Dutchie menu. There's certain types of special circumstances, but the three events that we care about the most, to not overcomplicate it and to keep things streamlined, is the event site-wide pixel. So we wrote our own custom pixel, but we still use Google Tag Manager, and then we piggyback our DSP. DSP is like Google Ads. Think of that, but it's not Google Ads. It's something similar. And when we do that, we track event site-wide pixel, meaning every page that person went on. We want to be able to track that. That's one. Second one is the trigger fire when this add to cart. So if somebody clicks on add to cart, this is for people who are cart abandoners, right? So add to cart but did not buy. And then the third one is somebody who's made a purchase. So what I showed you on the screen was like somebody making a purchase. 9 times out, like every campaign will have those three. Of course, we could do more, but the thing is that there's so many clients that you kind of want to streamline. Simple, boom, boom, to streamline. Okay. So when that comes, where we usually track is the products That's here. So items, sometimes there's more than one item here. The order ID, which is transaction ID,
Mhm.
the total, and then if there are emails there, that's what's there. Because that's what's passed back to our dashboards. So we make our own custom dashboards. It's not like Looker Studio. It's hard coded in here. So different depending on the campaign. It's coded up. We probably need IDs, DSP IDs. That's fine. So that's what's being passed back from a data layer. That's why we're curious about that. Some clients may not know how to do it. So we need somebody who can go inside the website, let's say a WordPress for most cases, or a Shopify website, and then set up the Google Tag Manager.
Yeah. So yeah.
So,
No, sorry. Go
what are you
ahead.
saying? No, go ahead. What were you asking?
Yeah. No, I was saying. Yeah. That's the yeah. It's always the start to set up the tag manager.
Exactly.
It would fire, so it would start tracking. Yeah. If
Yeah,
you properly, it won't track anything. So.
Exactly. These people don't and you have to assume they have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, I don't even smoke cannabis. So these clients, they like to do cannabis, and then they're like, I don't know. So we just have to get their email and stuff like that. So the goal with this role is top priority pixel setup. Hey, can we get pixel setup? Soon we're probably going to have a lot of people wanting to do pixels, and then set up set up Google Tag Manager if they have not done it already.
Okay.
Then the second one is add in those 3 events. There's going to be a very systematic way of doing it. How we name things, it's going to be pretty exact most of the time. And then after that's there, we set up our pixel that's within our database. Then we have to piggyback. So there's several things that take place. And so that's pretty much this role essentially is doing. And then, depending on the downtime, curious about how much time we have and the actual trading aspect of it. Believe it or not, most of the trading, that's like Google Ads, the logic's going to remain just about the same. The logic is, to your point, retargeting that I like you mentioned was just retargeting people. Second thing is cart abandoners. Third, people who have ever been to the website. Then there's a line item for lookalike models. And then the last one is kind of keep it as a run network, right? And so there's templates that goes in to churn things out. What's funny about digital advertising and also interesting is that it's fairly from a higher level, which I'm sure you've seen. Once you get it, it's like pretty streamlined if people don't overcomplicate it. And there's specific guardrails and it's simple to do, but sometimes people overestimate or underestimate how technical it is.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to get to a certain point, but once you're here, it's like, okay, streamline how it is. So these are cannabis dispensaries. And one thing you mentioned about is with the real estate is that sometimes you have limited, let's say you're dealing with the millionaires to luxury stuff, luxury profiles. Well, that's a very small subset of people, right?
Yeah.
People are millionaires. So there's only so much you can do. I can tell you for now, hey, we want a ton of leads. You're like, well, there's only so many millionaires, right? And so that's how that logic is here, because these are physical locations for most of the campaigns. There's only so many people who do cannabis, and there's so many people within a 5 to 10 mile radius, right? And so we're seeing, okay, first thing is top priority. Get see what we can do about the ad operations, and this is more so looking at that ad aspect of it. Then to sweep up some buffer within the trading aspect, have a buffer where there's more trading as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because then you'll know the pixels, how to work in debugging. So whenever there's downtime, it's more so when there's downtime. So then, hey, there's work for you, it's more money, or anything like that. So that's where it is. Just curious if you're interested in how much are you looking for in terms of pricing?
I'm actually looking for. I'm open for a project based one if that's something that you guys have worked in the past. But I'm also looking at 12 an hour.
12 an hour?
Mhm.
What do you think about 10?
Yeah, I'm good with it. Like if it's something that would be a performance based one, then I'm up for it because I'm at least want to show first what I could do and then maybe see where it comes up to. So
Okay. And the reason why is we'll see what the this is going to be a technical. I get back to. I'll see. Get back to. I'm going to get back to the CEO. See what we can do.
okay.
But from what I hear, I'm usually just like tell people straight up. I like what I hear. Soon we'll be like trying to set up a lot of pixels. Usually I do the pixel setup, and there's a lot of help. There are certain special circumstances, okay, and how the pixel setup, but it's streamlined. So pretty much, where most cases it's going to be follow the plan, stick to the plan. You may be like, hey, is this boring? For the simple fact that the plan is already solved.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
For most cases.
documentation is way better.
Exactly. We've been around for 2 years. Okay. We've been here for 2 years, and the thing is that doing this for 2 years, no other company has, probably one other, has done what we've done in the entire world, because there's reasons why. It's in the cannabis world, nobody touches cannabis. Okay. The reason is because of something called the 280E tax. There's a tax here in the US. Long story short, two things happens with the dispensaries. Number one is that they cannot write off their taxes. America loves writing off taxes. Yeah. That's how you make it, because this economy is crazy, and so they cannot do that. And on top of that, whenever somebody buys cannabis from not the black market, but this is legal, at least from statewide, there's an extra 15%. So it's more expensive. So most companies don't touch the cannabis industry because of those regulations, and there is not as much profit margins, should I say.
Yeah.
So people who are trying to make a lot of fat dollars on here, you're not going to do it. So we do the volume, but also we try to automate as much as possible. But when we automate as much as possible, what we're trying to do is any teammate that we have in, we think that they're very necessary, and we want something that's more long term. So any new ideas to keep you at a scale, that makes you not hire somebody else in, but also, hey, you're like, hey, I want some extra money because I know how to automate this stuff and scale it up. Why not win? Everybody wins that way. So that's really the gist of it, how we're thinking, and that's how we were able to I wouldn't say survive, but thrive, is because a lot of people will say, hey, you have to have these nice fat budgets because they hired a lot of people in the US and hired a lot of people in the US. There's not as much automation that goes on. There's still a little archaic. Because there's not as much automation goes on, a lot of their overhead is bloated. And when there's a lot of bloat, there's problems. We try to give them dashboards, automated emails, updating, put pieces to people who says, okay, streamline this, streamline that, but we need that human aspect of it.
Yeah.
It's just needed. And then we can work that. So that's how our logic is based on. We like it when people like to use ChatGPT, to be honest. Honestly, I'm a person who says use as much automation as possible. The CEO of Shopify even said, hey, he does not like anybody who doesn't think that way. We're the same way. And that's how we were able to outtake other companies who they did try to dabble in there, and we took them out because we were like, how can we make this more efficient? So we're constantly thinking about that way. But anybody we said, hey, can you fit in this role? It's like, this is legit. no automation, we value this. But yeah, so that's really the gist of it. Where I'm seeing, I mean, sometimes if I see seeing this role, there may have to be some client communication. At least in the beginning emails, probably like CC, and then we could work together on this because different menus have different situations. But I will tell you, 99% of situations I've seen, so it's not like you have to struggle and figure it out because there is a system to most of these things. Meaning, when you see this is what you do. But sometimes the clients, there's a lot of hounding. It just is what it is. That's pretty much essentially what it is. Luckily, I mean, it's up to. I don't know if you see it as a good thing or a bad thing, but luckily, a lot of the issues have been kinks have been solved. Probably internally, we're trying to think of a more system that has project management tools. That I'll be honest with you about that. But when you're trying to get GTM, Google Tag Manager, hey, what do I do with this menu? What do I do in that menu? We know exactly what to do to help you out.
Yeah.
To get that done. We already know how to use Google Tag Manager. We've been doing it for 2 years. They need XYZ. For this menu, they need XYZ. For that menu, they need XYZ.
Yeah. That's way
and then eventually.
Yeah, that's way better. Like, yeah, very rarely I encounter that they have a documentation for something like that. Like,
Hold on, I gotta write more documentation. I have not had time, so we'll work together though.
Yeah.
The whole key thing is to work together and eventually get documentation. Because we've been moving a lot of clients and time. This is why this position is very valued.
Yeah.
Is because I have this so that I can kind of take a step back so I can write these documentation.
Awesome.
So that I can make videos. So then also we want to do some things where we help the client out so that they can ask a lot fewer questions, right? So we just have not had time to do some of these things that we want to do. But at least to talk to me. And I'm personally saying, I don't have expectations that you're going to know. I mean, number one, I don't know the Philippines laws, but, I'm assuming it's illegal. So I don't know. I saw some country that it was like there's a death sentence if you ever do cannabis. I'm like, cannabis? but because of those things and because it's a very new thing, like nobody really has done it and we cracked it, we don't expect you to know that. However, the technical skills that we're asking, hey, do you know these technical skills? We can teach the rest.
Awesome.
So if you're like, I don't understand this, perfectly fine. Okay. That's about it. Are there any other questions?
No, I just want to say I'm pretty much available as soon as possible. And then I would definitely, I'm excited to kind of maybe maybe collaborating together or maybe me doing some of those stuff. So
okay, yeah, I'm gonna talk to internally. I do like the skill sets that you have. There's I gotta talk internally. I would say check out our 2 websites. One of them is this, and it's changed. So the first one is changing very soon, this week.
The Ethos Cannabis is the B2C one, right? Is it the font?
That is. So so they are doing B2C.
Okay.
But that's our B2B. That's our B2B, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So we work with Ethos. It's Ethos. I was trying to think. I was like, what is it, Ethos or Ethos? Because I used to call it Ethos, and they're like, no, it's Ethos.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's, wait, I forget which one is now. Oh, Ethos. There it is. I forget. Okay. So it's Ethos. All right. So we do the digital advertising, like Google Ads. It's not Google Ads, but similar. On the behalf of Ethos, for them to get new customers and customers within their geolocation. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we set up the pixels and stuff so to track all the sales that's happening when a customer somewhere buys something for Ethos. But we have to track it to say how's our performance with the company, right? So that's where our B2B is. Now our B2C is the app. HTTPS app.com electronicscommerce.com. That is our directory. And a directory is where people can search and find. So soon we're going to have new products and stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
We have not. We're just getting traffic. Traffic's been increasing at least 100 to 300% every month. Lots of SEO stuff that we've done in order to get that. We launched it in July, but when we launched in July, I kind of know expectations of how Google works. So I said it's going to take at least a year before it starts catching on. I already know October through November and December are washes. Your traffic, every company, just about almost every company's website will decrease because people are holiday season. And unfortunately, people are on, people will do more web browsing while they're at work.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. So then January hit, then our traffic like skyrocketed after. Google trusts us more. Our website's been on for a long time. So that's our B2C. And we're trying to kind of merge the two stories together, because what happens is that businesses always want to be able to find users. Well, if they can advertise within our website, but then also reach out people outside of our website and see what the sales and stuff's going on. That's why they're excited. So as our traffic increases, there's another product that goes on called internal display ads. So you know how DSPs, Google Ads, kind of put ad spots or place things in ad spots.
Yeah.
Instead of getting Google a cut of it, we have our own internal ads, and then they pay us directly. Now Google's cut out, at least within our website.
Yeah.
But the clients are also going to be, and also people are already interested in the ads. Interested because they know it's cannabis, so they're already interested in cannabis. That's why the business would be interested. However, they also want to be able to go outside our website and go across the internet and follow the user. So that's where we will use the programmatic. And the bread and butter will always be programmatic, or the Google Ads we're talking about, okay? Pixel setups and things like that.
Yeah.
And then I was also curious about it, because let's say we do a plugin and things may be easier for everyone. If that makes it easier, how can we make sure that the role evolves? One of the harder things is the pixel setup, making sure it's going on. Let's see what we do. Okay, is there some trading that can be involved where it doesn't do as many clients as the traders, but good enough where you can see what's going on. So the role evolves. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to be out. No, if we automate one area, put you in another one, because you have technical skills, your value. That's how we see it.
Awesome.
All right. I know it's late. It's 12:45 for you. Thank you for the call. We'll stay in contact with each other. Let me know if you have any other questions, okay?
Sure.
We'll stay in contact with you probably within a day or two.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll be waiting.
All right. Thank you for now. You have a great evening.
Thanks. You too.
See you. Bye.